Does that look alright? I can't. The screen is too far away. Alright, I'm back. So, I caught a glimpse of the Shang-Chi trailer, and I was just watching it, and I was wondering, like, why does this Marvel movie feel different from the other Marvel movies? Could it be the cast? And then I thought to myself, oh wait, it's because you can actually see the fighting going on, and there isn't a billion cuts in between. So in my last post I mentioned that Western cinema kind of learned the wrong lessons from movies like Bourne Identity, where they just started like doing super fast cuts for no reason whenever there was like a fight or a struggle going on. In most of these examples there was never really like a reason for doing so. And that's why when films like John Wick came out, films that like clearly mapped out the action and gave enough wide shots so that you could clearly register the action, where everything is happening, where everyone is, what is happening. It feels so like new and different. But it kind of isn't. The further you go back in terms of like movies, go back and watch like any Bruce Lee film. The fight scenes are pretty meditative, and they have a lot of tension in them because it's not everything happening at once. So I was watching those fight scenes, and my finger slipped, and I accidentally clicked on Lei Shing wins men's individual foil gold. I was about to click away, and then I kind of got invested. The thing that I noticed about fencing is that while it's not as slow as like the other films that I described, there is a fair amount of meditation or tension before they go at each other again. My point is, these are people at the top of their game, and even they have to take a few seconds to decide what they want to do next. I think the trap that a lot of shaky cam scenes fall into is that after a while, it just starts to look like synchronized dancing. Okay, I get it. The way I'm presenting it, it feels like a I was born in the wrong generation kind of thing, where it's like, oh, back in the old days, fight scenes used to be so good. And then nowadays, there are no good action movies. But there are actually a few. And the one I want to talk about is 2020's Birds of Prey. Yes, that's right. This whole setup, this whole video, this whole post was just an excuse to talk about Birds of Prey. Let's go, cue the title card. Why Birds of Prey is one of the best action movies ever. So here's the thing, right? Birds of Prey, it's great. It's really good, obviously. More and more, I hear, oh, the action isn't good, and if you slow the footage down to like 3 frames per second, you can actually see that one of the punches that gets thrown is actually like not that strong, but the guy goes flying anyway. Like, yeah, okay, bro, you watched one Corridor Crew stuntman reacts video and suddenly you're an expert. Okay. The thing is, a lot of the stuff we talk about here, we care a lot about. Normal people don't care as much about minute details in movies. I would know. I used to be one. Most people just watch a movie because someone famous is in it, or their friends are going to be talking about it, or someone interesting is directing. They watch it, they kind of enjoy it, or they don't, and then they leave the cinema and go home and probably never think about it again. Can you believe that? No Letterboxd, no IMDb, just straight raw dogging their movie going experience. Regular people don't care if you slow a movie down, you may be able to see its flaws. No shit, that's every movie. I'll prove it. Here's a screenshot from Citizen Kane, and here's a screenshot from Parasite. But then the other criticism of the fight scenes in the film is, oh, it's just not realistic, and no one actually fights like this. Yeah, no shit. This isn't fucking John Wick, dude. This is a movie where if a woman screams loud enough, she creates sonic waves that are powerful enough to physically push them back, like throw them back in the air. This scene is how the movie starts. Does this look like it's trying to be realistic to you? You know what it does look like? Comic book violent. Let's look at one of the best action scenes in the film. The scene that's probably one of the best scenes because unlike other superhero films, this action scene actually says something about the character. Up until this point, we know that Harley has a taste for the theatrical. We know she likes to dress up, she's flamboyant, if you will, ostentatious, if you must, vivacious, if you were so inclined, swashbuckling, if you were... Alright, she walks into the police station, and immediately it's established that she has a set amount of ammo. Now, if you walked in while this scene was playing, you would immediately get the idea of where she is, and kind of get the idea of what kind of character she is. The use of wide shots when she shoots her smoke gun makes for a super visually interesting image. This added to the fact that the shot right before this one, being a close-up on the hit, makes the action feel so much more visceral. It makes it feel like the person actually got hurt. The thing is, there are a lot of close-ups in this fight, but it isn't at all disorientating. Disorientating? Whatever. And when she gets past all the main police officers, she runs out of ammo, so she just starts beating them with the gun, which I think is way cooler than like pretending your gun has a billion bullets in it. But it does remind me of something. In John Wick, a lot of the times he has like more bullets or more magazines for his gun in his jacket or pocket or whatever, and when he runs out, he'll switch. And I think this attention to detail is kind of interesting when you realize that the same people who choreographed the action in John Wick choreographed the action for Birds of Prey, and that's why there's so much emphasis on sort of more minor details. So it's like how much ammo she has left. Alright, with this scene, we've established that she can take out a bunch of goons with a beanbag gun and a smoke gun, and notice how extra and flamboyant her moves are when she kicks and throws and punches people. It's a reminder that this is a story being told from Harley's perspective. So of course she's gonna do fucking awesome wild flips everywhere. Like, think about it. How many times have you exaggerated a fight to make yourself look cooler? I mean, I'm too much of a pussy to get into any fights, but I'd probably do the same thing. I think the point I'm trying to get at with this whole video is that shaky cam isn't like expressly bad, but when it's done for no reason other than like it looks cool, it gets kind of pointless, you know? The best fight scenes look interesting, look cool, but also tell a story, and they tie into the story well as when they're based on your emotional attachment to the characters. That's why I think something like The Suicide Squad, which recently came out, has such excellent action scenes, because you care about the characters. You don't want them to die. So take the scene I was talking about, right? The scene right after in the prison cell continues to tell a little bit about who Harley is. Like, the last scene, she isn't killing any goons like other characters would do in other films. It continues that motif that was presented at the start of the movie, that after leaving the Joker and having to deal with, you know, consequences of doing whatever she wanted without really thinking about the morality of it, and now having to essentially babysit a kid, it really ties the whole fight scene into the movie. That's why at the end she tells Cassandra Cain that she makes her want to be a better person. Anyway, thanks for watching. That's the end of the video. If you want to see your name on my face like Adil did here, buy my book. It's a zine, and if you send me the proof of purchase, like the confirmation email, I'll write your name on my face. I don't know why you would want that. It's a pretty bad deal. But anyway, thanks for watching. Goodbye.